there in Philippines. Forgive me, we're not going to be making this, it's not a sermon, but to kickstart, I thought of this scripture, Philippians 3:13-14, as we have discussed it in Stella Form, which says, did I say Philippians 3, chapter 3, verse 13-14, says, brothers, I do not regard myself as having laid hold of the prize yet. But one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead, I press on towards the goal for the prize, for upward call of God and Christ Jesus. This is a powerful scripture that talks about Paul saying that he does not regard himself as having laid hold of the prize, meaning that he knows that even though he is Paul, who acquired the favor of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, he still needed to continue pushing and pressing, which is what we are doing today. We are pushing and pressing towards a bigger goal. And this goal is for us to get even better through getting knowledge and empowering ourselves through the journey that we've undertaken with Mind Frame. Now, to continue, thank you and welcome to the leaders that have just joined us now. I see leaders are coming through. My name is Bongani Moyo, Bongani Freeman Moyo. Yes. I am based in Cape Town, here in South Africa. I know usually we have leaders who are coming from all over Africa and sometimes even in the Middle East. Even in Europe, we have leaders throughout the world that usually come in. So even though we don't see them today, I like to believe that they will be listening to this audio recording of today's session. I hope that we are all ready to receive a powerful impartation of knowledge, and above all that we may receive the powerful. Really work when your mic is on. So if you can switch on your mic, then you should.
Indeed. They work when the mic is on.
Yes.
Yes. I'm trying to share my screens here, but I'm not sure what is happening. It doesn't seem to, because I would like to have or to show the.
We did see the screen and then you took it out. You took it off again.
Yes. Actually, my desire is to have you see the PowerPoint rather than the whole thing there. But if it doesn't happen, because I'm using my notes here, we'll see how we go about it. It's all right, even if maybe it shows the whole thing, even though our desire is to show the. I don't know what you see now.
Yes, we can see it's.
All right. Okay. I'm not sure if you are seeing a slideshow or if you're seeing the whole thing.
We're seeing the slideshow, sir.
You're seeing the slideshow?
Yes, sir.
Ah, awesome. Then if that's the case, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Freeman. And I would like to also greet the leaders who are with us here tonight. Mr. Freeman has highlighted and outlined that some of the leaders might be held up since it's a Friday. It's a busy weekend. but we know that they will be getting the recording later. So in the session, or in the promo video that we had sent before this week, there were some questions that we were asking if it's really possible for leaders to live their life on purpose, and also if leadership is just about reacting to needs around us, or if it's something or if it's about something more than just reacting to needs that are around us. And also the question of if we can play offense, if we can be offensive with our lives rather than be just responding to challenges or to things, or reacting to things. And one big question is, does God have a specific mission for each of us to fulfill? And the answer to all of these questions is yes. And therefore, in this session tonight, we will receive the tools to live the life that we were meant to live as leaders. So, start with, I think Mr. Freeman has already mentioned the scripture verse, or the basis of today's presentation, which is a very powerful rendition of Paul stretching forth, or reaching, or pressing forward to the goal for the prize of his purpose, or of his calling. And he says, I forget what is behind me, and I push forward to that mark. I push forward to that goal that is set before me. I just want to give 5 biblical foundations quickly before I delve into this. Firstly, we all have been given a purpose for our lives. Every one of us, each of us, there's a purpose for our lives. There's a purpose that we need to live for, that we need to accomplish in this world, each of us. Secondly, we are most filled when we are fulfilling our purpose, which means it doesn't matter what you do, there will always be a gap until you do what you were born for, until you do what you were really born for, until you do what you were meant to be in this world, until you start doing what God intended you to be. There will be a space in our life. And number 3 is that not everyone uncovers their God-given purpose. There's a lot of people who will end their lives, or will reach the end of their lives without realizing the purpose of their lives. There's a man, one of my mentors, Miles Munro, the late Miles Munro. He used to say a very popular statement when he said, the richest place in the world is not the gold mines of Gauteng here, or the diamond mines in the DRC, or the oil reserves in the Middle East. But the richest place in the world is the graveyard, because in the graveyard, that is where people slept with unfulfilled dreams. They slept or died with unpursued visions. They slept and died with purposes that were not attained or uncovered. They slept with trillion-dollar businesses that they did not start, which means not every one of us will discover or will uncover their God-given purpose, because it's not everyone that will have a chance and an opportunity to be in such a setting like this. I know that I cannot say everything, like I always say, that these sessions in 1 hour today, which is just over 30 minutes, we cannot do everything, and we cannot say everything, and we cannot achieve downloading everything in that hour. But number 4 is that our purpose is built from our personal inward design. And this point I will come to later, but our purpose is built from our internal or inward design, personal inward design. Your purpose is not built on the things that are around you or that surround you, but they are built on something that is inside of you. That is another foundation. And the 5th foundation, which is the last foundation, is God will judge us on our obedience to our God-given calling or purpose in life. We will be judged by what we are given. We will not be judged by what we did was not given to us. If I was preaching, I will go deeper on this one, but because I'm just giving the foundations here, I will just move on. And I want us to look into how God called some of the leaders in the Bible or in the scripture. And the first way of how God called some of the leaders is that your purpose is revealed in a moment. I call it thunderbolt. You know, when there is thunder, when it's raining, when it's thundering, the thunderbolt calling or the thunderbolt purpose. This is when the purpose is revealed in a moment or an event, and it becomes instantly clear. Everybody knows what you are about. Everybody knows what you are called for, because a thunderbolt will be heard by everyone. If I'm here in Johannesburg today, if there was thunder in Johannesburg, someone who is in Sandton, just across here, would hear the thunder as much as someone who is in Vosloorus in the south would hear the same thunder. So it's a kind of a purpose that everybody will see, that everybody will know that it has happened, that everybody will know. Paul in the word, where he was called by Jesus Christ, and everybody knew and heard. Some, even though they did not hear what was being said, some just heard a thunder, but they heard something. Everybody knew from that moment that Paul is called to be an apostle of Jesus Christ. This is for both yourself and the people around your life. When God calls you on, when you are given a purpose, or when your purpose unfolds, and everyone around you will understand that, this guy is called. This guy, his purpose is in this line. And the second way, I call it walking through open doors way of understanding the purpose. This is when your purpose unfolds over many years. You just don't know it immediately like Paul, but it just unfolds over many years, step by step, as you capitalize on opportunities. As you capitalize on opportunities, like the story of Esther in the Bible. She did not know that she was called, or that her purpose was to deliver or to help deliver the people of Judah from the oppression of that nation. But the opportunities, the doors kept opening in front of her. And another way that you will understand your purpose or your call is the call. I call it the call from birth, where your purpose is revealed early in life. You always remember knowing what you're going to be. You always remember knowing what you are going to do. You always remember knowing what you will become from the earliest memories of your life. Like in this case, like Jeremiah, he was called from birth. He was dedicated to the temple from birth. Like Samuel, the prophet, he was dedicated to the temple from birth, as early as his birth. So there are people like that will know, that we will know that this guy, he's gonna be this, that this guy is gonna be that. And then fourthly, is the growing awareness. The growing awareness. The growing awareness is when your purpose is revealed in a general sense. You don't really know it immediately. You just don't have one event that will talk to your purpose, but it is revealed as you move toward it. The details are provided, sometimes using difficult situations to take you to the realization of your purpose. I hope you understand, leaders. We find here, like in the life of Joseph, we know Joseph, that his purpose, it unfolded through the dreams. It unfolded through being hated by his brothers because of the dreams. It unfolded through being sold by his brothers because of the same dreams. It unfolded through being bought by the people who were going to where he was supposed to be. And then later, when he revealed his identity to his brothers, he says to them, "Oh, brothers, you did not know that God was setting us up. I was sent for this purpose, so that I will take you out of your troubles this day. Do not think that you owe me anything by selling me, because when you sold me, it was in line with my purpose. But when it happened, when it was still happening, he did not know. He did not understand. He had to go to jail. He had to be tempted by his boss's wife. He had to be helping people in jail and be forgotten by the very people that he helped. So these are the things that we go through as leaders as we try to find our purpose into what we were born for. Look, for instance, the life of Jesus on earth. Our Lord was very aware of his calling in life. Christ was given a purpose. We too have been given a purpose. At the end of his life, Jesus prayed these words. He says, "Father, I have glorified you on earth, having accomplished the purpose you have given me." In John 17 verse 4. He knew that he had accomplished the purpose. And then later in John 20 verse 21, he says, "As the Father has sent me, so I send you." In other words, he was talking to his disciples saying, "I'm giving you the purpose to extend my purpose." But this one, I think, this one is for pastors. This one is for pastors. Let me skip it for now. All right, and now I want us to look into how can you understand your purpose. How to understand your purpose. Earlier, we said our purpose is built from our personal inward design. So to understand your purpose or your life's purpose as a leader, you need to place, one place that you should look into is inside your heart. It is inside your heart. It's inside you. The first thing that you should check are your natural talents. In order to understand your purpose, you need to look at what abilities do you naturally possess. Those are the talents. What abilities do you naturally possess? Secondly, you need to look into your spiritual gifts. I'm trying to fly through this. And every time I'm looking at the time, it pressures me. But I'm trying to fly through so that I give out as much as possible without robbing you anywhere. So the second thing is spiritual gifts. The second thing that you need to look into is your spiritual gifts. What are your primary motivational gifts? Like, for instance, when you look in the book of 1 Corinthians 12, there it speaks of the gifts of the Spirit, which are described there, those abilities, various abilities given by the Spirit for the benefit of everyone or of the community. Some of the gifts that are listed include wisdom, knowledge, faith, healing, miracles, prophecy, discernment, tongues, and interpretation of tongues. And these gifts are meant to also to build up the church, but also to serve others. Also to serve others, whether it's in organizations, whether it's in the community. The community needs wisdom, the community needs knowledge, the community needs healing, the community needs faith. You understand, the community needs all these things. But I'm fascinated by the ones recorded in the book of Romans 12, where it says, it records these gifts or these abilities, which include prophecy and, listen to this, serving. That's a spiritual gift. Serving is a spiritual gift. Teaching is a spiritual gift. I believe that's what I'm doing. I'm in my purpose. Exhortation is a spiritual gift. Giving is a spiritual gift. So there are people whose purpose is to give. That is why they will be frustrated by poverty. They will be frustrated by lack. They will be frustrated by being broke, because it's in them to give. For them, giving is a gift. Giving is a gift for them. And also another gift that is mentioned there is leadership. Leadership is mentioned. I believe that some of you are called, or their purpose is in that. I'm in it as well. And the last one is mercy. There are people who are just merciful, who for them the fulfillment will be in serving others, in taking care of other people, in taking care of the people in need, the people in pain, the people in despair. For them, that is the... So when you look into that, when you check that, that also could help you in understanding your purpose. And number 3, you need to look in also in your inward desires. What do you really want to do? Inward desires, they refer to your thoughts, to your feelings, to your motivations that exist within your mind, within your heart. These desires, they can include aspirations, goals, hopes, and longings that drive your actions, that drive your decisions. The things that you do based on these desires, the things that you do based on these emotions, based on these aspirations, on these goals, hopes, and longings. They are often deeply personal and can influence your behavior. They can influence your choices in various aspects of life. One leader that is here in this meeting tonight, I know that one of his gifts is the gift of combined giving and mercy. I know this leader that in his community there, you will find that people will just come. He will, when they are dishing up, they will they must always have an extra food, because there are some of the neighbors who will always come and share dinner with the family. There's always somebody coming to join them, because that is their passion, that is their desire, that is their longing to see others being taken care of. And then number 4 is results and fruit. You need to look into results. You need to look into what produces the most when you do it. In your life, in your workings, in your doings, what produces the most? What gives you most results? What gives you most fruit? Results and the fruit of one's actions, they are valuable indicators in understanding your purpose. Look, here is how they relate. Results are the outcomes or achievements of your actions. They can provide feedback on whether you are moving in alignment with your purpose, and positive results may indicate that you are effectively fulfilling your purpose, while negative results may suggest areas for growth or adjustment. All right? I just want to underline this, that sometimes the results, they can help you to indicate and understand your purpose. If it's positive results, they may indicate that you are fulfilling your purpose. Negative results, it's an area of improvement that is being highlighted, or it means or secondly, it could be an area of adjustment, or it could be that you are doing what you are not supposed to do. There could be somewhere else where you could get more results when you operate in that space. And secondly, the fruit of your actions, they refer to the impact they have on yourself and others. This can include positive changes, growth, transformation in your life and in the lives of those around you. I have a mentoring session last week. I believe it's just about 10 days ago. I had this mentoring session with someone. It was the first time we had a session with this leader, and it was, even though it's mentorship, it's leadership related, but we had to start with personal development. And I was so excited the day before yesterday when I got the report, when I got the update, when I got the testimony of the things that are already happening in the space of this leader, in their family, in their business, already within the space of a week, which means I am seeing fruit in what I do because I'm operating in my purpose. I'm seeing transformation. I'm seeing growth in my life and in the life of others. So this for me is also an indicator that I am in my purpose. And number 5, I want to excuse me. Number 5, it will be affirmation and recognition. What do others affirm about you? What do your friends and your family, the people you work with, your colleagues, what do they affirm about you? What do they say about you? Affirmation and recognition, that they can play a very big role in understanding your purpose. But you should understand also that they cannot be the sole focus. It cannot be just affirmation and recognition that tells you or that points you to what your purpose is. Affirmation is a positive feedback. It's an encouragement or validation from others that can reinforce that you are on the right path and fulfilling your purpose. But recognition is being acknowledged and appreciated for your contributions, can affirm the value of your work and the impact it has on others. Also, recognition can serve as an external validation of your purpose and provide motivation to continue pursuing it. And number 6 is passion and convictions. Passion and convictions is what you are compelled to pursue. I don't know if you have ever felt like that in your life, where you feel compelled to pursue something. It's one of the fundamental elements in understanding and living out your purpose. They're just things that you feel you are compelled to do. Look, there's someone who asked me about these sessions, and they were surprised that they are free of charge. That we don't charge people for these sessions because of the content that we dish out. You can tell we do our research, in all aspects, psychologically, socially, and even spiritually, economically, in any way that can help empower leaders. And they were like, why is it for free? And I said, it's for free because it's 1 hour. I'm compelled to do it. And I feel like I should give something, because I know that there are those leaders who cannot pay for my sessions, who cannot pay 1,500 rands to attend those 2 hours, those 2 hour or 3 hour sessions. So for those who cannot afford it, this is it. And I am compelled to do it. It's my passion and it's my conviction. All right. And number 7 is fulfillment and satisfaction. They are also indicators. They are also help in indicating what your purpose is and understanding your purpose in life. What do you enjoy doing? Fulfillment and satisfaction are closely linked to understanding and living out your purpose. Look, fulfillment is a deep sense of satisfaction and contentment that comes from aligning your actions and your choices with your purpose. With your purpose. It involves a feeling of completeness and wholeness when you are engaging in activities that resonate with your all right, that resonate with your, I'm checking my time here, with your values, with your passions, with your talents. And understanding your purpose and actively pursuing it, it can lead to a greater sense of fulfillment in life as you feel that you are living authentically and making a meaningful contribution to the world. You know, I know this is deep. I hope that it comes to you the same way it is coming out of me. To understand that this is beyond just living a life, just waking up and going to work, to your employment. Let me put it that way. It is more than that. It is about really doing what you were born to do. I'm not saying you should resign from your employment. No. But start looking into yourself and start doing the things that really talk into who you are, into the core of who you are. Before you know it, you will see results. Before you know it, you will see the fruit of those things. And then lastly, to understand your purpose, the circumstances and opportunity can help you in understanding your purpose. What is in front of you now as an opportunity? Circumstances and opportunities, they can influence your ability to understand and pursue your purpose. When we're talking of circumstances, we refer to the external factors and conditions that surround you, such as your environment, your upbringing, socio-economic status, and even your life experiences. These circumstances, they can either support or hinder your ability to discover and fulfill your purpose. We know the story of a chicken that has been bound for days or for weeks. We know the story of a dog that has been on a leash, in a chain for forever. The day you unleash it, it will still be in the circumference and the distance of the chain it was bound in, because it is used to that environment. Even when it is set free, it is used to being bound, even though it is released. All right. So the circumstances, sometimes they can bind us, they can arrest us into some conditions that we could have otherwise been free from, if we understood and if we looked into the circumstances and the opportunities that are around us to assist us in understanding our purpose. All right. How do you uncover it? All right. Your purpose, it ought to number one, begin with God's priorities. It should begin with His agenda. It should begin with asking what are you doing in the world, and how can I join you? God, what are you doing in the world, and how can I join you? I'm not talking about pastoring or being a minister here. I'm talking about the purpose. There are people who are sick with sicknesses and diseases that we think they cannot be healed. Maybe you are the one who is supposed to find that. Maybe you're the one who ought to find the cure, to find a remedy for those sicknesses. It should revolve around your identity. Your purpose should reflect your answer to the previous list of understanding your purpose. It will be unique to your gifts, passions, and desires. And thirdly, it should include others. It ought to include others. You know, your purpose will not be fulfilled in isolation. Nobody can fulfill the purpose in isolation. It will always include people, and it will involve serving people, and you cannot do it alone. So you need to find people. There's a saying that says, birds of the same feather flock together or fly together. You should find people of the same mind, people of the same desire, people of the same destination or destiny, and move with them. And it should be bigger than yourself. It ought to be bigger than yourself. Your purpose will usually take a lifetime to fulfill. It will be God-sized. You know, there's a leader called Richard Bach. He was asked how to know if your purpose is fulfilled, and he stated, if you are alive, it is not fulfilled. I'm charging you leaders that we should be able to say like David in our last days and say, I have fulfilled my purpose. I have finished my race. I have done what I was supposed to do on earth. I have touched the lives that I was supposed to touch on earth. We should not live like we will live long. We should live like this is our last day. Ask yourself, what if today is my last? What could I have done? What could I have achieved? Which life could I have touched? So your purpose should be bigger than yourself. Number 5, it should contain a life-changing conviction. Underline this. Only if you have something worth living for, do you really have something worth dying for. So, if you don't have something to live for, you cannot have something to die for. And you cannot die for what you cannot live for. Your purpose should be about activity to which you will give your life. It's deeper. And lastly, it should have eternal value. It should, in some way, eternity should in some way affect the fulfilling of your purpose. Don't limit it to simply moving things around here on earth. Make it count for eternity. Make it count to the level of saying, I have lived my purpose and I owe nobody. I don't even owe God anything because I emptied myself whilst I had time on earth. I don't think I have time to go through the next list, which is a very important, I'll just highlight it, which is a very important list for life planning now. I would suggest that you take a day alone, just in seclusion, and you respond to the 10 items below here that I could have listed. Maybe I'll just throw them in the next 3 minutes, and use an empty or a blank sheet of paper and take your time. And from this list, you begin to write a statement of purpose for your life. If you are in this meeting tonight, if you are listening to this today, and you do not have a purpose statement, it means there's a lot that you are not doing that you might have had more impact if you had a purpose statement. Think of a business that does not have a mission statement, that does not have a vision, that does not know where it is going, because there is nowhere to point the employees, to point the stakeholders, to point the stakeholders and the shareholders to. it means they're just doing. They can do anything at any time and they end up achieving nothing. But this list is for writing your purpose statement, is for planning your life, your burdens, what needs tug most at your heart, your burdens, what needs touch your heart mostly, the hallmarks, what are the major hallmarks that have made up your life. I've known people who are speakers today whose speaking is based on motivating others because of the hallmarks. Some are speaking, they are married speakers. Can I have a leader if I don't have a response? I don't understand that question.
Continue, sir. Continue, sir. The questions are for later when you finish.
Okay. All right. I'm worried about time. Can I be a leader if I do not have a purpose? You can be a leader even if you do not have a purpose statement. But there's no one who does not have a purpose. All of us, we have a purpose. The only thing that we need to do is to uncover that purpose, is to uncover the purpose for which we were born, for which we were made. So some of the things also are this last 5, which is dreams. What are some of your aspirations and ideas? Mission. Why do you exist? Vision. What do you see? Core values. What things you believe in? What are your deepest values? The principles that drive you. And then goals and objectives. And this one you should list the areas of your life, your family, professional, social, that are important to your purpose. You list specific goals that will enable you to turn the lofty purpose statement into a practical to-do list that you can begin to implement. Basically, that is how you do it. But I just flew through this list. I would have loved to have more time so that I could go deeper into it. But because of time, I will just end it here for now and then take it back to Mr. Chairman. I don't know how many minutes we have. Thank you, sir.
Wow, thank you very much, sir. There's one more question here. How much of a role does fear play in stopping us from fulfilling our purposes? I'm sure if there's anybody else who's got questions, can pose their questions.
Fear is actually a very seductive spirit, if I may use that word. It's a seductive way that seduces us away from the very purpose. I think I should appreciate this question. Fear can seduce you away from the purpose. There is a difference between fear and terror. When you are terrified is when you see something scary that you jump out of your bed, you jump out of your room when you see. That is terror. But fear does not come like that. Fear is seductive. Fear, it uses its cousins. It uses doubt as its cousin. Doubt. It uses hesitation. It uses low self-esteem, and you end up not doing what you are supposed to do because you are afraid. So fear, it plays a very, very big role in assisting us in not doing, of even finding or testing or tasting the purpose for which we were born. I can tell you that what I'm doing now, I've been doing it for many years, but
Your time is up, sir.
My time is up.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Anyway, thank you very much, sir, for the knowledge of wisdom, the wisdom that you have given us today. Thank you to everybody who has attended. I'm sure if we've got questions, we can post them on our WhatsApp group, and then our leader here can help us answer those questions. But tonight I am motivated in an understanding that it is possible to be a purposeful leader. It is possible for me.